Zimmerman gives this off up the middle. Amone somehow gets through traffic, and Amone into open space. Inside the 30, one man to beat, cuts back inside. Amone inside the 10, 5, touchdown Leopards!
Ball carrier, Amone.
Welcome in Deseret News Rewind. Dusty Litster and Dane Stewart, as always, presented by Heidemann & Associates, brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard, and outfitted by Black Clover.
Yeah, that's right, Dusty. And with fall coming around, hey, it's here. I was out on a Friday night. It was a little chilly, a little breeze in the air. You want to get your outer gear ready for the winter. Check out blackcloverusa.com. Check out their assortment of outerwear for men's and women's gear. And, of course, while you're there, pick up a hat or two. You're going to love it from Black Clover. And if you use the promo code DNR20, you'll get 20% off your first order from blackcloverusa.com.
Absolutely. Well, we're coming to you from Bingham High School. What was the site of our, well, not the site, the winner of our game of the week, and we'll go through that game in just a few minutes. But let's get to our opening statement, brought to you by Heidemann & Associates. Look, I bring it up. People after week 1 said we're not getting to week 4. Well, we're in week 8 now, folks.
Yeah, how you like them apples, huh?
I'm sure you're sad that happened.
Yeah.
But week 7, look, we thought we would do, because every year we do our award show at the end of football season, at the end after all the state tournament stuff. But we thought after week 7, why not do some mid-year Rewind awards?
Yeah, some nominees, right?
Yeah.
Some young men that you got to keep an eye on. With award season coming up, we're going to let you know some early potential favorites.
So we'll go through each classification, give you a couple names. If there's kids we're missing, I'm sure there's going to be plenty. Hit us up on Twitter. And again, all we ask, just be nice. We're giving you names. We're going to go quickly because, you know, we did a 40-minute show last week. We'll try not to do that every week. But
Voice is still recovering from that one.
I mean, but we want to make sure we give a lot of young men some stuff here. But let's start first in 6A. And, I mean, here's an easy one. I mean, we'll put on the tee. Jackson Dart.
It's been an impressive year for Jackson, you know, and got tested probably for the first time as a Charger this last week against Lone Peak. We'll talk about that, but a young man who really adds a different dynamic with his legs, and having to do so this year without much of a running game. That whole offense really feels like it relies on Jackson Dart to be special, and he has been to this point.
I mean, he's thrown for 2,361 yards, 31 touchdowns. He's rushed for 616 yards and 9 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Through 7 weeks.
It's pretty
I mean,
impressive.
a lot of games not playing in the second half either. So Jackson's been outstanding.
Well, Dusty, you know, one of the names that really jumped off to me, and we haven't talked about him a whole lot. He's been overshadowed a little bit in his own region. But Parker Kingston, I see you.
Yeah.
Look, Jackson Dart leaves. We've talked about it. Parker Kingston was a receiver last year, moved over to the quarterback position. And you look at how special he has been for this Roy team, Dusty. He's been just as good as Chance Trujillo, who's leading the Darts right now, to a real special year for Davis. And oh, by the way, Roy beat Davis thanks to Parker Kingston, a young man who's rushed for over 150 yards multiple times, has thrown for over 200 yards multiple times. Parker Kingston with a pair of running backs, but Kingston has been absolutely special for Coach Fernandez and the Roy Royals.
Absolutely. Hey, and just because you don't think I would do this, how about John Henry Daly?
Yeah.
The dude ruins nights. Ask Jackson Dart how that first half went with John Henry Daly. By the way, something I was told too, he runs a sub 11-second 100 meters. This kid is an athlete with a capital A.
Yo, I'm going to stay in that region, Dusty. We talk about some quarterbacks. How about Hillstead and Madsen, the years that they've been having this year? You know, Madsen, we expected a big year for him this year for AF, lead that potent offense for Coach Beam. How about McKay Hillstead, though? First year starting, just a sophomore. You have to come in on a team, a program that's had, you know, postseason success. I know last year ended a little bit early, much to the, you know, disappointment of Falcon fans, but this sophomore has this offense clicking, playing really well right now. And when you talk about how great Jackson Dart has been, you got to throw McKay Hillstead right at that same spot because he's been that good as a sophomore for Skyridge.
Hey, you didn't think I'm getting out of 6A without bringing up one other name, do you? The only 1,000-yard receiver in the state.
Hey.
Yeah, that's one Noah Kerr. 1,000 yards, so he's got 1,093 yards and 12 touchdowns. The leads receivers as well. Yeah. It's been quite the first 7 weeks for Noah Kerr. All right, 5A.
Well, for me, Dusty, I'm going to start with a pair of quarterbacks that were supposed to go head-to-head this week but couldn't, and that in Region 6. And you talk about Gabe Curtis, second-year starter for the Brighton Bengals. He's been dynamic. Look, his numbers aren't going to overwhelm you. You're not going to see 350-yard passing games from him real frequently, but his athleticism, he's able to get out of the pocket, really dynamic quarterback, tough to defend. One of the reasons why Brighton, a top 3 team in the 5A classification. And then Bolingbroke. Yeah. What a year he's having for Skyline. We talked about it last week, broke a school record, still in reach of the career passing mark for Skyline High School. Of course, not playing Brighton, we'll see how that affects that pursuit, but 2 quarterbacks in Region 6. Would love to have an opportunity to see them. Maybe we'll get it in the playoffs, but 2 young men that have had fantastic years for their respective sides.
And here's the thing about Gabe Curtis. He's a leading rusher in 5A.
Yeah.
Leading rusher. He's thrown for 764 yards. He's rushed for 694 and has a combined 17 total touchdowns on the year.
That's pretty good.
Getting it done. Here's a sneaky one, and it's because the last couple of weeks, this young man's been outstanding. Darius Edwards, the quarterback from Wasatch.
Yeah, 7 touchdown passes against Maple Mountain. Continues to lead a Wasatch team that we thought would be good, right? Didn't know they'd be able to contend in that deep Region 8. We're midway through region play, and they're the last undefeated team in the region. And Darius Edwards has been fantastic for Wasatch. That defense has been special, but he's a young man that any given week you got to watch out for.
And I'm just going to put a little combination out there. It's been a lot of fun because supposedly they're changing their zip code because we have them on all of our stuff so often.
Okay.
And that is Mr. Morley and Mr. Olson, the receiving tandem of Spanish Fort. The other dart in the state who's been lighting up the sky. He's got 2 terrific receivers, and not only that, Olson had a kickoff return for a touchdown last night.
That's a special one. I got one more for you.
Okay.
How about DeAndre Randolph?
Yes.
Receiver for Alta. I mean, it feels like any given week you expect this young man to make a catch that you just don't see. Absolutely dynamic receiver on the outside, difficult to cover. Doesn't matter what kind of coverage you have, he's going to come down with the ball. DeAndre Randolph has been fantastic in 2020.
4A.
Well, for me, Dusty, I've got a couple guys. I'm going to start with Landon Fry. For Snow Canyon. What a year he has had. Big matchup this last week, able to find a way to carry the Warriors to a win. Snow Canyon, we said this might be the team to win Region 9. It's looking that way. They've gone through, but they've got a big game coming up here this week due to the Warriors, but looking really, really strong. Balanced offensive attack. I know there are a lot of young men we could talk about for that Warrior offense, but Landon Fry has been so good.
Absolutely. By the way, those black unis, they're so good. Those are awesome. Absolutely awesome. How about this one? This kid does everything. When I say everything, he catches touchdowns, he gets interceptions, he scoops and scores on blocked field goals. That's Isaac Larson from Skyview. Isaac has been spectacular for the Bobcats. And then one more going back down south. How about Braden Bunnell? Leading passer in 4A, throwing for 1,900 yards and 22 touchdowns, having to follow up what Croton did last year.
I got one more for you.
All right.
I don't know if I'm going to say this right, so my apologies, because I haven't had to call his name yet. I'm sure you'll be able to correct me because you're much better with this than I am. How about Chase Tabarachi as the Park City Miners, Dusty?
How about fixing that? Good.
They were 1-2 out of the gate, and still scored a lot of points in those 2 losses. Played some really good teams. Had a big win this last week. Tabarachi, a young man who, how do you say it?
I'm going to say Tabarachi.
All right.
Right? Yeah.
Young man who's been dynamic for Park City. There's a number of different guys.
If it's not Tabarachi, he should change Joe Heisman.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, you can have Manukin, but I got Tabarachi. And what a year he has had for Park City. We can talk about Bayer. There have been so many good players for Park City in the minors, but Tabarachi has been absolutely fantastic for Park City.
No, I agree with you too, and he's been spectacular. How about 3A? I'll take this first one. Joe Garlick.
Yeah.
First of all, he gets tombstone references. He hits us up, but leads a major comeback we'll talk about. But this young man from Summit Academy, took a beating last year.
Yeah.
He came back this year better for it.
He did. He's got a lot of weapons around him, and no one better to learn that quarterback position than Les Hamilton. What a job Joe Garlick has had. Great to see he's getting some looks at the next level. If you follow him on Twitter, you'll be able to follow that action. But Joe, really dynamic, and has done a great job reading defense. We talked about some of the big wins Summit Academy has had this year. Got another one this last week. Joe's been fantastic. I got one more for you, though, when we talk about 3A. Because there's a team right there that's been like,
I'll allow it.
Joe Garlick, he wasn't that big of a deal. How about Ryder Lish for the Morgan Trojans? Morgan off to a strong start, and Lish has been fantastic, the quarterback for Morgan this year, and off to a really strong start for the Trojans.
Absolutely. And then obviously Landon Bowles. He had the tough night against Drew. If it was him, we're not 100% certain on that. We'll talk about that too. But Landon Bowles has been absolutely lights out every single week. Since we're at Bingham, Coach Peck coaching here, coached at North San Pete.
Yeah.
That's the only way this happens. But yeah, it's been absolutely spectacular. All right, 2A.
Well, I got 2. I'll start with one. I'll make sure that you certainly have room, Dusty. How about Duchesne and Cameron Brady. This is a young man that it feels like any given week you go look at the box score and it's no longer expecting Duchesne to run for 7 touchdowns because Cameron Brady's throwing for touchdowns every week. 2, 3, 4. Young man has had a fantastic start. Unofficially, stats reported only 2 interceptions thrown on the year for Cameron Brady. The Duchesne Eagles still undefeated, looking really strong in region or in 2A. Thanks much to Cameron Brady in the year he's had.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's been very interesting to watch what Cameron Brady's done.
Yeah.
But also, how about Jace Palmer from San Juan? Jace Palmer, the leading passer in 2A. He's one of the top passers. He's number 16 in the state.
Wow.
2A doesn't throw the ball a whole lot, and
Right.
he's thrown for 1,610 yards. Plus, he's a San Juan Bronco, which gives me a chance to remind you to be nice to Mrs. Nielsen. So.
Yeah.
And I know their coaches watch our stuff as well. And then, but how can we talk about stuff and not talk about E.J. Allred? Somebody from Beaver. How about we give Beaver some love? E.J. Allred has 15 total touchdowns, leading the state, just ahead of Jed DeGraffenreid from Millard.
It's pretty good. I was actually going to go a different direction for the Beavers. How about Trayson Hunter? Quarterback. I mean, we're accustomed.
Top quarterbacks.
Hey, look, Dusty, I'm new school, man. Get with the times. 13 passing touchdowns for Trayson. That has to be a record, right? I mean, Beaver doesn't throw the football. They do with Trayson Hunter. He's had a fantastic year.
Hey, we got to give Turner Williams some love, too. He's in the top 7. He's number 6 in total touchdowns in the state.
Okay, all right.
At least in what's been reported.
Needless to say, Beaver scores a lot.
A ton. A ton. But hit us up. Let us know other names, too, that you throw in for the mid-year awards. Again, these aren't written in stone. We want to make sure to just give some love to some guys for what they've done through the first 7 weeks. All right, Dane, you had our game of the week, Bingham and East. Been waiting for a good Bingham East game. How about the last 2 have been classics? One in the playoffs, and then last night.
Well, last night was a big-time matchup at East High School. Of course, Coach Peck back at the Realms on the Bingham sideline. And, I asked Coach Match before the game, hey, does this game feel any different with Coach Peck being over there? He's like, no, it's Bingham East. What else do you need? And it certainly lived up to it, Dusty. East got the football to start this contest, and, man, the second snap, a fumbled snap, and Bingham able to recover, and it looks like old demons being executed here on a Friday night at East High School. A couple plays later, and it would be Loam able to run the ball in from about 9 yards out. Just 40 seconds into the contest, it's 7-0 Bingham. Would it be a long night for East? Well, the next drive would certainly tell us. It would be a long night, but for another reason. How about Amini Amone? 66-yard touchdown run. What a response from East after giving up that turnover. Just 20 seconds later, we're a minute in. It's 7 apiece at East High School. We move to the second quarter, and Bingham here having to punt. How about the pursuit here by Kafusi? Able to block the punt, and the East Leopards are in business with a short field. I.J. Sula, a few plays later, able to cap this off with a 2-yard touchdown run. It's 14-7 as East with the lead at the break. We move to the third quarter in this game, Dusty, and you started to see some things that you don't really see from Bingham. How about a fumble here on the kickoff return? A big return near half midfield. Ball comes out. The Leopards recover. And then it would be Vainuku. Mappa Vainuku, 34 yards out, able to capitalize off the turnover. East with a 21-7 lead. But hey, it's Bingham. Anything's possible with the Miners. Late in the third quarter, and how about this throw from Troy Main, the senior quarterback, able to find Glasker. This from 15 yards out, a minute left, and the Miners with a big response get back to 1 possession. We head to the fourth quarter, still 1 possession ball game, and the Miners trying to capitalize, and oh no, Troy Main throws it right to this East defense. Just a couple minutes left. You feel like that might be enough to salt it away. I think there's about 4 minutes left at this point in the game. The East offense coming out on the field. They are unable to get a first down, have to punt it away. Bingham with the ball on the plus side of the 50. A huge penalty going to back them up, Dusty. They're facing 3rd and 26. No way they convert this, right? Well, you got to cover Isaiah Glasker. My goodness, he had a fantastic night tonight. Glasker able to get behind the defense. How about the adjustment he makes on that route to bring in the pass? And the Miners are in scoring position, 1st and goal. A couple losses, and Bingham now finding themselves 3rd and goal from the 14. Main scrambling, rolling to his right, looking for someone, and he's got him back of the end zone. Touchdown for Bingham. They're able to tack on the PAT with just 29 seconds left. They tie this ball game up. We're heading to overtime. In the extra period, East starts with the ball. How about Amini Amone? What a ball game he had. Able to have 3 rushes in the overtime period. Would cap this off with a 1-yard touchdown run to put East up 28-21. What could Bingham do in the overtime. How about a couple nice outside throws to Glasgow along the boundary, and that would set up Whitehead from 10 yards out, able to run it in. Bingham with a chance to score here. Point after tried, East jumped offside. They'll move the ball half the distance of the goal. Hey, forget about the tie. We're going for the win on the road. Look at this play. Maine rolling back. They leak out. The tight end, Wolf, wide open. Did he catch it? I think he did.
He caught it.
I think he did. I think it's in. Tough angle. But the official right there makes the call. 2-point conversion good even after conversing. And the Bingham Miners 29-28 over the East Leopards in an instant classic as Coach Peck able to get Bingham back on the right side of this rivalry.
Okay, let's spend a ton of time here. Just a little time.
Yeah.
Okay, and I did this on the Deseret News Rewind Live. When Wolf catches that ball, just because he's coming this way, it's kind of the optical, I won't say illusion, but it creates an optic
perception.
Remember, all that ball has to do at any point of that ball has to be over the front of the goal line, not the back of it, not from the end zone out, but from the 1 yard line to the goal line.
From the green to the white.
That's all it has to do.
Yeah.
One part of that. There's no definitive argument that he didn't do that. So even though he's coming out of the end zone as he catches the ball, all he has to do is have possession of the ball and part of the ball over the goal line. There's no way with the official standing right there and other officials that they said, no, he didn't do that. I know it's a little controversial, and you know, I'm not going to say 100%, but that's all he had to do. I think he did it.
Look, there is no replay in high school football, right? But if there was, I don't think there's an angle to overturn that call. The official's right there. He's on the line, right on cue. He's understanding all of that, makes the judgment, calls it good. There wasn't an angle I've seen, either from our footage or from other angles, that had proof that it didn't cross the goal line. So you got to go with the official, trust him, and Bingham guts out of an impressive win. And now, Dusty, Riverton's still undefeated in region play, but Bingham looks to have the lead for Region 3 title.
Well, and on top of that, it's not a rivalry until there's a little bit of controversy. Last year's great win for East here at Bingham in the playoffs kind of changed that.
Yep.
Now a little controversy to kind of mix in that little rivalry potion. That's a good one. But a great game. All right, let's go to our best of 6A. I'll start here. Dane, so you went through that one. How about the head on the stick game? Yeah, I might have gotten this one wrong. Weber, it's a late touchdown. John McKinney's second touchdown of the game with 8 yards out, about 5 minutes up in this game, and Weber holds off Fremont to get a 20-17 win. By the way, Canada DeVries caught a touchdown pass in this game too. It wasn't just a kick return or a punt return for a touchdown, a 33-yard reception for a TD, but it's Weber knocking off Fremont 20-17.
It was a big-time game in Region 1. Dusty, I'm going to go to Region 4. I'm a little surprised that I am and you're not. This feels kind of weird. How about Skyridge and Pleasant Grove? Look, Pleasant Grove, we mentioned RPI came out. They're their #1 team in the state. Had to play Corner Canyon last week. Thought that they would have a nice bounce back this week. Skyridge jumped all over them. 35 points in the first half. And look, I got good news for you, PG. It does get a little bit easier. I'm not saying it's easy, but it gets easier because you might have just played the two best teams in that region in Corner Canyon and Skyridge, as Hillstead had 2 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. And I learned a little fun fact this week.
I love fun facts.
All right, great. Dusty, you can come out every week and talk about Carbon County and dinos and all the connections you have, but you know what I got? We got a Centennial connection in this state. How about Porter and Rex Connors, Papa and Uncle's former Patriots?
Hey!
And so Porter and Rex, look, they do great things for PG. I know they came up on the short end last night, but if it weren't for their Patriot training, just kidding. Just got to throw that out there.
I love it.
Dusty can run with it.
Yeah.
So get ready for your Centennial reminders every week from here on out for Pleasant Grove.
Hey, I had to call an audible. I was going to do a different game here, but my better sense has got me. A #1 went down last night. Salem Hills was undefeated. They were the #1 team in the 5A RPI last year. They were #1 coming into this week and from last week, the first week. And Springville has been up and down. Willie Child, that team, but he is so consistent. And Springville gets a 16-13 win. William Penrod had a 6-yard reception and run. William Penrod ran it in with about 7.5 minutes left. Springville go up 16-7. Salem Hills got a touchdown late. Reed Johnson, just not enough. Springville, Willie Child and the Springville Red Devils knock off the #1 Salem Hills Skyhawks. Big upset in Region 8, but in 5A.
You know who plays really good defense in this, Dusty?
Springville?
Dusty Litster. He just stole my best of 5A.
Oh.
Just came in and just snapped it right out of the air. All right, you won't fool me next time. All right, here's where I'm going to go. I'm going to stay in Region 8. How about...
We don't talk about this.
How about Maple Mountain and Spanish Fork? Look, we've talked about how good the Dons have played all year long. Coach Smith doing a heck of a job. The Dons have a lead on Maple Mountain in this ball game, Dusty. But hey, have no fear. The Golden Eagles are here. An 18-3 fourth quarter. Tyler Nelson had 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdowns as the Golden Eagles, look, they may have had to come from behind against a really good Spanish Fork team. We continue to say that. They continue to get better. Zach Dart having a great year. Coach Smith going to get things right. But tonight it was about Maple Mountain, a big comeback and a big rivalry win for the Golden Eagles over the Dons.
Absolutely. Hey, Thomas Waite, I've been saying this. There's a little inside joke between he and I. He earned himself some pepper soup. 3 peppers on there for him. As a young man that born in Liberia. He gets that joke. Don't worry. We've talked about it. But that was a fun game. Hey, by the way, if you play Spanish Fork, it's going to be close.
Yes, it is.
It's going to be close. Hey, talk about close games. How about Snow Canyon and Dixie?
Yeah.
Snow Canyon jumps out 20-0 in the first quarter. Dixie comes all the way back to take a 21-20 lead at the break. But Snow Canyon, you talked about Landon Fry. He had himself quite the night. Bretton Stone was a workhorse. Rushed for 237 yards and a touchdown. Got in the end zone as the Warriors had to hold off a late charge. Dixie gets a touchdown, goes for 2. And Snow Canyon holds them off. And it was Bretton Stone in the running game able to run the clock out as Snow Canyon squeaks out of one out of Santa Clara. 35-33 win over Dixie.
Man, that was a great ball game.
That was awesome.
Great ball game.
By the way, keep those black unis. Oh, those look so good.
All right, hey, I'm going to go to 3A for my best of the rest, Dusty. This is a game that we picked this week, actually. Juan Diego, Summit Academy, the Soaring Eagle. This started to look like a better team the last couple weeks. They are playing really good football right now. They have a lead against the Bears in this one. From the start, Juan Diego is off to a lead. But how about the closing ability of Summit Academy? They outscore Juan Diego 18-0 in the last 5.5 minutes. Joe Garlick comes to play, has a big touchdown, 2 touchdown passes in that span. A game-winning field goal with 1:34 left. They needed an onside kick to do it. You pull out all the stops when you're playing your region rival Juan Diego. Summit Academy 31-28 the victory. Dallas Larson 4 rushing touchdowns for the Soaring Eagle in a losing effort as Summit Academy got the better of them on this Friday night.
I mean, a lot of good games and absolutely spectacular. Hey, let's get to our Riley Jensen mental performance moment of the week. Dane, I gotta go to your game of the week.
Yeah.
3rd and 26, Maine to Glasgow. Your back's up against the wall. I got a mentor of mine. He always says, what are you gonna do when your back's up against the wall of faith? Well, self-talk, positive thinking, and what Riley says, hey, take some deep breaths, keep your breathing right, and good things happen. Maine to Glasgow, and then 3rd and goal from the 14 to get the touchdown. Yeah, you need to get things right, get your mind right. Riley Jensen's there for you.
Let's add on to that because it wasn't just those 2 plays, Dusty. Remember, he threw an interception with 3.5 minutes to go. I thought was the ball game. Not only that, we didn't really talk about it, but how about the pursuit of this East defensive front? Look, Ben Roberts was breathing down his throat all night, as was Kafusi, Wolf Graham. That front got a lot of pressure, and to be able to stand in, make big plays on 3rd and longs twice to close this game out, and then the 2-point conversion, no doubt, Troy Maine. Mental performance is up here.
Go to RileyJensenConsulting.com and go set your appointment to go learn more with Riley. Learn how to get sharper as an athlete, as a person, and then if you're a quarterback, you need a little bit of one-on-one work too. Get that
help you
footwork
there
right. Riley's the guy. He's absolutely there. RileyJensenConsulting.com, the sponsor of our mental performance moment of the week. All right, let's get to the quick hits brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard. You want to make that job change, need some help doing it. The Utah Army National Guard's there for you.
Yeah, over 150 different career path options available. Sometimes you need those job skills when you're going to make that job change. It's hard to get them when you don't have the experience. You can get the experience through the Utah Army National Guard. And the best part is you can earn up to $20,000 in educational assistance or a signing bonus depending on the job career path chosen. To learn more, visit nationalguard.com.
All right, let's go to the quick hits. How about this one? Box Elder Look, Parker Buchanan does everything. Throws for touchdowns, he runs for touchdowns, he gets interceptions, and Box Elder gets a 17-7 win over Bountiful.
How about Kearns and Hunter in a tight Region 2 battle? Look, Kearns has been the cream of the crop for the last couple years there. The Hunter Wolverines came to play, folks. Kearns went up 14-0 in this ballgame. Hunter matched them from there on out. Toyavau had a big night with 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns in the win for Kearns. This game was closer than I thought it'd be. Hunter, that's a great effort, something you can build on.
Timpview, hey, to get it bounced back, by the way, Coach Stokes and his family, and his wife Tia, our thoughts are with you. And looking forward to getting our jerseys.
Yeah.
So, by the way, folks, you can go bid on jerseys, Tia's Tribe jerseys that were donated by their jersey provider, Pro Look. We'll give them a free shout out. It's a terrific gesture. But a big win. Donnie Otawaya, Mark's little brother, not quite little, was the coach on the night on the sidelines for Timpview in a 28-14 win against Lehigh. But the reason I want to bring up this game, it wasn't the win. It was some tweets that came out after. The buses from Timpview, they didn't go straight back to school. You know where they went? To Coach Stokes' home.
Oh, man.
And to go celebrate the win with the Stokes family. It was a great moment for Timpview.
Yeah. And Tia, Coach Stokes, our thoughts, prayers, wishes going out to you. And please support the Stokes family, coaching community, players, family in need right now. And Tia, certainly wish the best for you in your battle with cancer. How about a game in Region 4 last night, Dusty, and AF trying to bounce back off of a tough loss. And, Westlake gave them a battle. This game was 21-13 at the break, 31-0 second half for the Cavemen. 2 pick sixes for Fisher Ingersoll. Madsen with 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown in the win for the Cavemen.
Big one. How about Wasatch? How do you follow up a big win against Maple Mountain? You fall behind to Provo.
Yeah.
Come all the way back down 20-10 at one point to win this one 30-20. Coach Coburn and crew getting things right for Wasatch, but getting things right. By the way, I got to make sure, I've been saying Coach Sanford. I thought we had information that Coach Sanford's there. It's not. The new offensive coordinator is actually Coach Roberts. Came all the way from Arkansas. Arkansas, I don't want him to come beat me up. But all the way from Arkansas to come here. But I want to thank our fans who've reached out to clarify that. We appreciate it. There are press releases and different things that come out when coaching changes are made as far as staff goes. But congratulations to Wasatch, a 30-20 win, come from behind win against the Bulldogs.
Big game in Region 5 is, how about Bonneville? They just continued to win ball games, Dusty. And they held Woods Cross to 3 field goals on the night. Cats only getting 1 touchdown. Best had a passing touchdown. Shaw with 2 rushing touchdowns. The Lakers still undefeated in Region 5 play. Man, I feel like someone said Bonneville might be good this year.
You're welcome. Hey, here's a game we picked. Park City. Have a night, huh?
Yeah.
60 points on the night. Chase Byer went absolutely crazy. Tron Grizel, by the way, he does more than just make one-handed catches. A 74-yard touchdown catch in this one. And you talk about Tabarachi. Got things done as well in the fourth quarter. 60-30, the win for the Park City Miners picks up.
That's against a vaunted Mountain View defense. Watch out for the Miners. Hey, how about a big game, Green Canyon and Bear River?
Ooh,
man, the Bears. Man, I got a soft spot in my heart for Bear River. I don't know how it got there, but it's there. My goodness.
Our old friend Michael Clanton, that's why.
You feel like, can you catch a break if you're Bear River? Green Canyon London had 4 passing touchdowns, including the game winner with 8 seconds left. A 4-yard touchdown pass to Carson Stewart. Case Jones, in a loss, ran for 226 yards. Bear River, I think they're 0-3 in region play, and by a combined 11 points. Bears keep fighting, but this night it was the Wolves.
Just to save you, Lundeen.
Thank you.
Quarterback.
Thank you.
Just to save you on that one. How about this? Grantsville, they're hitting a little bit of a slide, but this slide is in the name of South Summit. South Summit comes from behind, Dart Sanchez, a 36-yard run late in the fourth quarter, putting this one away for South Summit as they get a 22-6 win over Grantsville.
How about Cedar Valley and Tooele? Tooele makes a late charge in this ball game, 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but it was a 29-yard field goal. Proved to be the difference for Cedar Valley, 23-21.
You don't think starts matter? Just ask Juab and North St. Pete.
Oh, man.
It was a great start. Trey Lund, 2 touchdowns in the first few minutes. He had 2 touchdowns in the first quarter to get things started for the Juab Wasps. Getting reports that North St. Pete had some issues and kids in quarantine, different things. About 10 players that were affected. Don't have the virus, but were affected and needed to stay home, couldn't play. But either way, Juab didn't care, and that's what you have to do. You don't care what happens. Have enough respect for your opponent to go out and put it to them, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
Juab takes a commanding lead in their region. None of that in 3A. Expect them to be number 1 in the RPI. Get a 42-21 win over North St. Pete.
You know, Gunnison Valley had a nice start in their game Friday. The problem is starts only get you so far. Duchesne had a 21-0 second half as they come back to defeat Gunnison 35-17. Brady had 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns as the Eagles remain perfect.
Sometimes this guy's pretty funny. North Severe goes to Millard, and this was a fun one. We showed the end of this game on Deseret News Rewind Live. It was Deegan Brazel, a 30-yard touchdown pass from Cannon Boswell. By the way, we watched about, I would call it 40 plays, 1 pass in all 40 of those plays essentially. Okay, There was 2. But Gunnison got that big touchdown. Deegan Brazel gets it in the end zone from Boswell, and then it was a late interception for North Severe to seal the win on retro night at Millard. They're wearing their Royals, not the Navies.
Hey.
Get rid of those Navies. We're royal blue in this world, and didn't matter. But a big night for North Severe, 21-14 win against Millard.
How about a program that has not had a lot of success? And this one I had to double check, Dusty. The Clearfield Falcons, 17-14 over Farmington. Simper had a 78-yard touchdown pass to Nixon Daly, a 25-yard game-winning field goal for Lufiso. The Falcons upend the Phoenix.
Well, remember, and that game was only scheduled because of COVID issues.
Right.
Because Farmington was supposed to be at Viewmont for a region game. Good on the Falcons at taking on that game, getting the win. By the way, it's just kind of what happens. Olympus had a late drop in their schedule. Riverton says, hey, we'll play you. We'll even come to your place. And they came to their place and broke Olympus's heart. 24-21 win for Riverton. But we want to make sure we talk about both those games because those coaches didn't have to take them, and they did. Good on you, both Clearfield and Riverton, and congratulations on picking up 2 wins.
Look, this is a game that, Dusty, plug your ears. I'm sorry I have to do this to you. Emory got a nice
Why'd you
win.
do this?
Emory got a nice win. We won't talk about the other side. Emory got a nice win. Hayes Dalton had a pick 6. Riker Jensen 4 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Brandon with 3 receiving touchdowns. As Emory with an impressive Friday night against a team to be unnamed.
Show's over. By the way, where were those uniforms when I played there, for heaven's sakes? Kanab goes into Milford. Man, tough slide for the Milford men.
Yeah.
It's Kanab getting, I would say, back on the right because they're on the right anyway. But it was a big night. Carson Bloomquist, a 57-yard run, a 27-yard pass, getting things done for the Kanab Cowboys. Get a 26-15 win over the Milford Tigers.
We had a Thursday night special for you this week. Cypress and Granger, and 2 teams that are still trying to stay within reach of a Region 2 lead. Not a lot of offense in this game. The defense showed up, especially that defense from Granger. My goodness, their pressure up front was fantastic. In the end, Jadon Lester had a long touchdown, receiving touchdown, a field goal as well, not from Lester, but 10-0 the victory for the Pirates on senior night.
Talk about Thursday night. How about the big one on Thursday night? Corner Canyon at Lone Peak. The battle for the point of the mountain goes the way of Corner Canyon again. How about the start? First of all, Lone Peak had a terrific start in this ball game, but you're not going to, hey, a little note for Region 4, you're not going to beat Corner Canyon kicking field goals.
Yeah.
Get a top 5 play, interception, got popped up in the air. Jackson Dart makes a tackle, leads to a field goal. The defense got the job done. Luke Romney came out on fire, but it was Jackson Dart to Cody Hagan, not once, not twice, but thrice on that one. Hey, by the way, you know who else runs corner routes from the slot? Noah Kerr and Cody Hagan, to take a little play out of James Palmer's playbook. But a big night in the second half. The turning point in this game, bringing this up, a punt from Corner Canyon. Lone Peak holds him to a punt. The punt hits a Lone Peak Knight. It was a short punt. Hit a Lone Peak Knight. Corner Canyon jumped on it, scores. And that was a turning point in this ball game. But Corner Canyon looking very, very good after a shaky start. Lone Peak showing, hey, they're getting things figured out there. But they have no time to lick some wounds. They got Sky Ridge this week.
Going to be a big game.
By the way, game of the week here on Deseret News Rewind.
Breaking news. Hashtag sources.
Got any other ones?
I think I'm good.
All right, let's get to our Black Clover. Looking good. Performers of the week. I gotta go with mine first. Hey, by the way, I'm doing this because they golf year-round down in St. George. Get your Black Clover gear.
Yeah.
You can wear polos all year long. Use that code DNR20. But I'm saying that because Breton Stone, this kid was unreal. We talked about 237 yards rushing on the night for Snow Canyon, but nothing was bigger than the catch out of the backfield when Dixie was making a run in this game. A 28-yard catch out of the backfield down the sideline. I think it was 3rd and forever. No, it's 4th down. It was a 4th down play for Snow Canyon, and that's what gave them enough breathing room to get the wins and put them up 2 scores. Bretton Stone, my looking good performer of the week.
I like that. Hey, you know, my black clover gear, I feel like this is like bullseye of clothing, right? Like, you got to love it. So I'm going to talk about the darts. How about my black clover looking good performer of the week, Dusty? I'm going to go with David Stewart, okay? Receiver for Davis. How do you like these numbers? He only had 6 catches.
That's it.
He turned 6 catches into 252 yards and 2 touchdowns. David, looking good.
Efficient, too.
You're right.
James Harden would die for that kind of efficiency.
No kidding.
Any other ones, hit us up on Twitter, at D News Rewind, at Dane_Stewart, at Dusty Litster. As always, we appreciate everything you do as viewers of this show, and you see us out around and about, come talk to us. We love talking with you. But for Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Litster. Thanks for joining us and watching Deseret News Rewind on Deseret.com.